fucking joke.
Heartfelt.
No, how could you say that?
I'm a dumbass.
That means you're gay.
No, God, please, no!
A man and a woman.
I'm kind of retarded.
You are fake news.
Negus.
I'm upset.
Be offended.
Do you love black people? You ain't black.
I don't care.
Long COVID.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
How about new?
Hot like a tamale.
Try to relax your anus.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Come on, man.
What is it, you period?
Oh, rim shot.
Five, four, three, two, one.
What's up, all you crazy capitalists, you witty whiskey enthusiasts? Welcome to the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast. I'm Ian.
And I'm Shawn.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below. And check it out. We have a new overlay. We got the locals.com site, tdpn.locals.com. Go there, subscribe on there so you can at least join the community, and go there. And if you want to become a member, we're going to have exclusive content coming out soon. We have some little network meetings that we're going to have and kind of figure out what that exclusive content's going to be coming up here. But we are running a special right now for the next month. You get a free month using the promo code TDPN for Till Death Podcast Network. If you go there to Locals, sign up to our site and our community, and then you can become a member. And then I think the lowest is $3 a month if you want to support what we're doing here. So
One of the things I'll add to that is that, like, you know, right now we are kind of like fleshing out exactly what we are going to be adding to the locals that will be like exclusive for that platform. But we are going to be making some supporter exclusive content on there, whether it's live streams or posts or videos or anything like that in particular. But there will be some stuff that we're going to be doing just for the people who are supporting us over there. So definitely want to try and jump in on it now before we decide like we want to up the price or something like that. Right now we're just allowing people to join in at the bare minimum, $3.
Yeah, we just want to get people kind of in the community. And
That's
even
it.
if you don't, I mean, I believe there's going to be the ability. I'm still learning how to do the local stuff. I know you're kind of doing that too, but like, I think we're
Figuring
going
it
to be
out.
able to have like separate, like live chats just on locals, which, cause I know Ricada does that, which his locals live chats are absurd. I will.
Yeah,
I
no,
will.
they're similar to what you're just saying. Like there is a live stream capabilities on locals, and like there is a live chat that goes in there as well. So again, it's another platform where we can do supporter exclusive live streams. So like it's going to be pretty cool once we get it all up and running. We flesh it all out.
Yeah, and I think if you just even without the live stream, if you just do a post, you can enable live chat just on that post. So for each stream that we do here on Rumble or wherever, we can have a separate live chat just under that post. So if you don't, so if you're watching it and you don't want to post on the Rumble and the YouTube, whatever, you can just do it over there, and we'll have that set up as well with the other live chats. We have all the live chats in the world set up. But all right. So with that, make sure you check out solo.to/the whiskey capitalist for all the links and ways to stay up to date with us. Check out bit.ly/the whiskey capitalist merch for our fully stacked merch store. Get you a fanny pack for summer's coming up. You're going to need something. And then, today, let me bring this up real quick. Today, we are going to be talking about a couple of interesting topics. First, we're going to be talking about your weekend, Shawn, with playing in the Elvis tribute band. Congrats on the sold out show. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And you have some interesting stories from there that I was reading on your little diary, so I think that'll be fun.
My diary.
Diary, journal, whatever.
I know it's more masculine to say journal or manuscript or anything like that, but yeah.
And then between friends, you go with the gay option. That's
diary.
It's a diary. It's fun. I just imagine you sitting up there with a candle and like your quill and
it's a European carry-on. No, it's a purse.
Yeah, it's a merce, okay? It's a satchel. All right. We're also going to discuss I think what we're going to do here on YouTube, because it's going to be a little bit more YouTube friendly, is we're going to talk about the Brian Kohlberger case and the fact that the Idaho State House Judiciary is discussing bringing back firing squads as a form of capital punishment in response to the Brian Kohlberger case, the Idaho where he murdered those 4 college students. Mm-hmm. And he's potentially going to get the death penalty conviction. So there's a lot to discuss about that. And I think that's going to be a little bit more, I mean, it's still spicy, but I think it's going to be more along the lines of what we can talk about on YouTube, because the other subjects that we have are discussing Woody Harrelson's SNL monologue that has leftists kind of in an uproar right now, because he likened Big Pharma to a drug cartel. So we're going to discuss that over on Rumble, and we're also going to discuss on Rumble how there's a white student who's claiming Howard University racially discriminated against him to the sum of $2 million. So
that's a lot of white privilege right there, buddy.
Is that like reverse racial discrimination?
I don't know. I think if I was going to get $2 million because I was white, I would say that's white privilege. I'll go with it.
I would be privileged to have that. But yeah, so I mean, we'll figure out between the Kohlberger or the white racism, or the black racism, whatever way you want to go. We'll figure that out.
Racism.
Yeah, exactly. We'll figure that out here in a minute. But yeah, was there anything you wanted to say before we get into this intro?
Thanks for watching.
Yay.
Let's go to the intro. Button.
Subscribe. Do the things right now.
Rumble rant us.
You've seen the intro already, so just hit the buttons while you're just fucking do your thing. Go, here we go.
Rumble rant me.
Who else in the level car say yeah?
Look at that big juicy booty.
Hot like a tamale.
Be offended.
Do you love black people?
Negro.
You know the thing.
Here, next.
Don't be rude. You ain't black.
Shawn COVID.
You're going to have a flame coming out of your butthole.
Heartfelt. A man and a woman.
All right.
I have a feeling there's one person who's going to have kind of an issue with certain black people. Just watching the intro, it reminded me. And then, the white guy, Howard University.
Yeah, he might. So do you love black people?
Some of them.
Maybe not after that that little incident.
I mean, if he gets paid $2 million, he'd be like, I don't give a fuck.
Like, yeah, go ahead, whatever.
Yeah,
Say all the
exactly.
racist things you want. I'm a millionaire now.
Just pay me. All right. Sorry, I am behind on sending out the messages to everyone to come watch us talk shit.
Oh, I see.
So one thing I do want to say in regards to the local stuff that we are talking about, I just if you're on our Twitter, then you've already kind of heard me talk about this, but I do just want to address that we really thank you for your continued support of this live stream, man. Like it's been just over 8 months since we started it, and being able to see people in our chat and on our Twitter is awesome. Like it's cool to cultivate this like awesome community that we have of like free thinkers and being able to discuss topics in a funny asshole way, but also being able to look at everything in like a realistic way. And it's really cool. And we have a lot of stuff coming, stuff in store coming up for y'all. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're nailing it right there. And like we appreciate everybody who's been tuning in, because like now we've kind of collected like a bunch of people who are regular viewers, regular commenters. They're actually like they're becoming part of the show essentially with like what they're contributing in the conversation. So hey, that's just awesome. We really appreciate all of you, and hope you continue to be degenerates like us.
You guys are like our Pokemons. We're just collecting them all.
Yeah.
But with that, as a network and all the production on the back end that I've been doing, I'm finally getting caught up with the Movies America stuff. We put out from his past episode 21 to 68 are finally out on the YouTube and the Rumble. We just got those out this weekend. I'm going to be editing the last little bit of the last couple episodes of his backlog so we can be caught up, and I'm going to try and have those out by Thursday, depending on if he can get me the footage and all that. So once that's done, we're going to have our own little board meeting, quote unquote, on the back end, and kind of go over the things that we want to do and we want to be able to offer to you guys as the exclusive content on Locals, and just ideas, kind of like the Sippin' with Santa thing that we did, and little things like that we can do on holidays, or like little extra bits of content. And we have a very, very big idea that we are putting into the works right now that will take a little while to get on, and we will probably be very secretive about it, but just pumping you guys up for it for probably like 6 months. But we're very excited about it. And also Sipping with Shawn, Till Death Podcast, Movies America, and here on Whiskey Cap, we're going to be trying to make putting a bunch of goals on the table and trying to make the content better for you guys. Any suggestions that you have for the show, go to our Locals, sign up on the community, send it to us, send it to our Twitter, any of those things. Let us know what you'd like to see, what we could do better. And I mean, don't be a twat about it, but like, let us know what's going on. So, and we do have more new promos, new merch, potential new show segments coming up. And like I said, that exclusive content. Now, with all of that said, if you like all of that, just go over to Locals. Just go over to Locals, sign up, tdpn.locals.com, like it says up here at the top, and become a member. It's as little as $3 a month, and you can use that promo code TDPN for 1 month of free membership just to try it out and kind of see how the community is. And let's build that up, man. Let's do it.
I think that's perfect. I love the new show segment I did for Sipping with Shawn, where I was doing drink of the week. Yeah. Since then, I learned how to make this, and now that's like the regular drink that I'm doing like every time now. So you, when you did that, like, you've not had a whiskey sour before? No, I've had stuff like that before, but I didn't know how to make it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. When you
said again,
that,
I'm educating people on how to make shit.
Okay, because I might have been paying attention to something else, or like, whatever it was in the background, but I thought I heard you say, I've never had a whiskey sour before, and in my head I'm like, the fuck?
I never made a whiskey sour before.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I missed that part. All right. Yeah, so dude, there's one way to make a whiskey sour that uses egg yolks. which is
Isn't that like some kind of like a gin fizz?
The egg whites, sorry.
Yeah, that's like a fizz or something like that though, because like a gin fizz, like you use egg white to like make that frothy.
Yeah, I was thoroughly disgusted. I was like, no.
Yeah, but I had one before and it was delicious.
Okay. It just looked really gross when the bartender was making it, and I was like, why the fuck? Ugh.
Yeah, no, you're right. It looks completely disgusting when like they're making it, but then you're like, fuck it, bottoms up, let's go. And then, hey, this is actually pretty good. I'm only gonna have this one, but it was pretty good, and I never ordered it again. So I don't know how good it really was, but I mean, like it tasted good at the time.
Real quick, on my end, I don't know if it's just me and my signal, but it looks like you're a little glitchy. So just letting you know if something happens with the service, it might be just.
I haven't had any issues on my end, so we'll see.
It could just be pixelation on my side. All right. Cool. Well, did you want to get into your weekend?
Yeah, mine as well. I mean, like people kind of already knew I was doing this like Elvis tribute thing. I talked about it for a minute, just like as the date was coming up, of like, because I had been busting my ass for the past couple of weeks learning all this material, and like the thing is, I don't know. I'm sure your brain kind of works similarly, Ian, because like you're a musician as well, like where your brain kind of works in these like melodic senses where you can hear like relative pitch of like where something wants to go. You can hear where like the song is leading to, like especially with like you're talking about like blues and like classic songs like that, like especially like Elvis stuff, like you kind of know what the standard changes are going to be and you're going to be able to follow it. So a lot of the stuff I just kind of used my ear and just kind of like, oh well, it sounds like it's going here and then it goes there, and guess what, it really does, it just goes there and it goes over to there. And like when it came to like specific licks, it was kind of like, oh well, these are all like the pentatonic related and this and that. So like that nerd talk, musician nerd talk,
like, it's kind of like in that 1-4-5, like
a lot of the
most part.
Like so like the 50s, 60s, even like some of the early 70s stuff, like with the real like heavy blues stuff, that was all like 1-4-5 type things. But then like a lot of the like the turnarounds were typically 2-5s, which were like related to jazz and everything. They were a 3-6-2-5, and those were typically those kind of like stripper, like kind of like breakdowns. And then like the big like so like those kind of big endings, like that was all Elvis with like all the punches and the kicks while like he's like doing all the hits. So he's doing
that gut.
Oh yeah, this was like a kind of a thinner Elvis. This is like 70s ish Elvis, like early 70s Elvis, before like the drugs really got to him. And like
when we on the last Whiskey Capitalist, when you were doing the practice, we had weapons of meme destruction on in the chat. We're talking about the potential Elvis things, and we just kind of riffing on that. We just talking shit about you, of
course.
So and we're saying that each of the members of the tribute band should dress up like a different Elvis. And so
pretty good.
So someone was like, well, who's gonna be the fucking fat Elvis on the toilet? And I was like, dude, the drummer. Like, it's already grown. Like he should just sit on a toilet. Like that. Sorry, this is my stupid mind of like everything has to be a joke. So like, okay, what Elvis would you be if you all had to dress up as different Elvises?
I feel like I would enjoy being a fat Elvis, just because like I could just wear like a fat suit and like it just be like, oh, this is like hilarious, like kind of like one of those like inflatable sumo suits.
Yeah, and you're the bass player, so I mean, like it's the fat part of the music. So
yeah, I'd be fine with being the fat Elvis. That would be fine with me. But like, so like,
this, you should learn how to play the stand-up bass.
Yeah, I know.
It would be great. Like,
I can do upright. But the thing is, like, but the thing is, like, I have to spend like a week in advance working on like any kind of songs and like things I prep for that, because I have to practice my jumps and intonation, because I don't ever fucking pick it up and do it. But like when I have a gig that requires it, I'll spend a little bit of time working on it, and go back on it for this and that. But there's a few tributes that band will do that requires upright, like when they do like the Sun Records, like they start from like the 50s and they work their way up through the decades of doing Elvis music. So like in the 50s, it's all upright, and it's pretty interesting. But either way, that's not what I was doing for this one. This was in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. It was it's a vacation town.
Okay.
But Cape Charles, Virginia, it's literally like right on the beach. Like it's a little rinky dink theater. It's at like a little over 300, I think. And so like when I got in there, I was like, okay, this is kind of a small theater, but I mean, it's a theater nonetheless. I'll go with it. And from my my entries that I put on locals, like for like the Shawn Cav like .locals thing,
the diary.
What's that?
The diary.
Yeah, my diary. When I put the entries in there, I started talking about the sound tech situation, because when I got there, typically like, the sound guys are there working hours in advance before the band is scheduled to arrive for like a sound check. It's just like pretty standard, because hey, get the monitors in place, run out the cables for where you're going to need like direct inputs and stuff like that. None of that was accomplished. The guy must have just gotten there right before us, because he's like digging out like boxes of cables. And
I read that. I was like, how are you not prepared for that?
Well, there was maybe like 3 monitors on stage, and it was like, well, we need one for the drummer. I'm gonna need one unless you can give me a transmitter, because I brought my ears with me. Like I can do that.
In-ears,
and they don't have the capabilities of doing in-ears there.
If they weren't set up previously, I'm pretty sure their in-ear capabilities are not great.
Yeah. So there was that. And then like, so our sound check was supposed to be at 3 p.m. Our sound check was going to be like probably around 4 o'clock realistically, but like we were supposed to be there at 3 for setup and everything. So we get there, we bring all our stuff in. It's 3:30. We're all set up. Everything's plugged in. I don't have an amp with me. I'm just running direct into like I'm going to go into the house sound.
Yeah.
And because most theaters always have subwoofers and they have great fucking overhead speakers. Like it's very standard for theaters that you don't need to bring a bass amp.
Yeah.
Like you don't. And so I just use like a little Sans amp box and I'm good to go. Well, it was like 4 o'clock. And this guy was still running cables. We're like, hey, do you have enough microphones? You guys didn't bring mics? It's right in the rider and like, in our stage plot, what we need from you.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, let me check, because there's some more stuff in the back. I gotta look back there. So he's moving super slow. Now it's 5 o'clock. There are no mics on the drums. There's no XLR for me. The keyboards aren't plugged in yet. There's no XLR for the guitar rig, because he's running like one of those Helix boards.
Oh, that's what I got. Those things are awesome.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And like he's got no signal out to the house. And like it's a fucking mess. And like I don't want to like put any more pressure on the guy, but I'm like I'm just like, hey, you gonna need any help with this stuff? Do you know what you're doing? Because like I don't want to be like standing over there with like ends of plugs going over to the snake and be like, hey, so are you gonna be able to put like this into that one? He knows which inputs he wants things put into, so I should just let him do his job. But the thing is, he's the only one there doing the sound. Like he's the only sound tech running all this shit and trying to set it all up. So I could tell he was probably way overwhelmed with what was being asked of him, because he's probably never set up for a band before. He's worked at another theater like in the area, but they hired him to do sound for this show particularly.
How many members did you have?
There's 2 backup singers, the Elvis, keys, guitar, drums, and me. So 7 people.
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't just like drums, guitar, bass, vocals. There were a couple of extra little things too. Yeah.
Now, this guy was definitely getting like overwhelmed, because now like we're in the back and we're getting a little frustrated. We're getting flustered. It's now 6 o'clock. Doors open at 7. Doors open at 7 o'clock.
7:30. You guys go on maybe?
7:30 we start. Yeah. So like that's, but like 7 o'clock doors open, people are getting seated. So we're just like, what the fuck? So I go out there and I kind of maybe overstepped my bounds again, just because like I'm getting frustrated at this point.
No way.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe I overstepped a little bit. I went out there and I was like, hey buddy, I'm just gonna let you know this right now. It's 6 o'clock. You have an hour until the doors open. I still don't even have an XLR cable, and I haven't line checked anything for the bass. You got nothing set up for the drums. Do you need to get some help? You should probably be calling somebody if you need help getting this shit done. And
I just love how you started it with, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your pal,
not your friend guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I just laid it out there for him like real quick, and I was getting like sure we were all getting really pissed off. No lie, like maybe like 10 minutes into us bitching downstairs, this gorgeous tall blonde comes downstairs, and apparently she must be like the heiress that owns like the theater and like the house, the mansions that we were staying in.
Yeah,
like,
I saw about that. That was cool.
There's 3 mansions all next door to each other. They own all of them. We all stayed in one of them, which was huge, gigantic. And like she comes downstairs and like we're all pissed off and whatnot. She's like, oh, and like also she's got this like really cute kind of like Irish accent because like her family's like all like descendants of like Ireland or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your inconvenience and this and that. And all of a sudden, all of her faces just go, it's okay, no big deal. It's like so that they honeypotted us into like fucking
what a bunch of simps, you fucking cuck. He's like, just send the titties down there and we'll.
Yeah, well, they honeypotted us into just being okay with the fact that these guys are completely fucked. They sent so this guy did take my advice and he called in some backup. He called in this other guy who I guess he's like another relative to like the gorgeous blonde, and this guy came in and he's like, so you mean to tell me you guys, a traveling band, came to a theater and you didn't bring cables, you didn't bring microphones, you didn't bring a stand, you didn't do this? It's like it's all in the rider what you guys need to provide. You know, you guys provide the microphones, the cables, the monitoring system. Yeah. We don't do the sound here. You do the sound. We are the talent.
Yeah, and if it wasn't in the rider, then it would be more understandable of you, or if it was discussed that you needed to bring that as the band and they wouldn't be able to provide certain things like that, then yeah, that's the agreement that comes when you book the show. But it's in the rider, it was agreed upon, so yeah, lick my butthole.
It's all in the rider and the stage plot as to what's required and where everyone's going to be and some of that. That all could have been set up way ahead of time.
You had one
they
job.
Did nothing of the sort. So this guy is yelling at us about it, and I was proud of the guitarists and the keyboards. They did not take shit at all. They were like, no, that's not on us. That's on you guys. You guys didn't do your job. And he's like, well, listen, the next time you guys go and play a theater, let me tell you what, you better have your manager go and tell them exactly what you need, because not every theater is going to have this stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're right. This is the only theater we've ever played at that didn't have this shit.
Yeah, this is a first for us as well, sir.
Yeah, this is a first because we're dealing with remedial sound techs.
Nice.
And so we were just so pissed off about all this shit. And eventually, this guy is trying to tell us how to mic a drum kit. How do you mic a drum kit? This is good. You'll love this. So instead of grabbing like a 52 or something to throw in front of the kick drum,
yeah.
Hey, just give me that 57 over there. We're gonna throw that inside the drum. Now, if you don't know what a 57 is, a 57 microphone is this little tiny like bullet microphone thing that it's a microphone dildo, and it's only good for guitar frequencies. Essentially, you can use it for some vocals, but like it's a guitar like mic for the most part.
It's high end on the higher frequencies. Like it picks up that. It's obviously like where you put it on on the speaker and whatever, it gets a little bit, muffly if you put it on the side. But for the most part, it's all higher frequencies that it picks up.
Yeah. So it's
good
not
for a bass drum.
No. So we were all just making jokes about
cowbell the whole fucking time.
We were just making jokes about the fact that he was using a 57. Like, man, that's the best sounding kick drum I've ever heard. In fact, you know what's going to make it sound better? Let's use 2 57s.
Oh my god! Like, how are you gonna like EQ them different? Like, I can understand if you EQ'd them different, it might be, but you're still picking up only the fucking highs. Dude.
It's a joke. No, like I was joking about the 257 thing, but like,
let's move on before I have a conniption over just that part. Because
so there was the whole. Oh, so then they didn't have enough microphones to mic the drums. So
let's use 2 on the bass drum.
So they gave me a 57 for a backup vocal mic. And I was like, dude, no, just use this and get an overhead. Make this an overhead. And then they're like, well, we already have it designated for this. I'm like, fine, forget it. We took the one leftover 57 that we had and we angled it to where like it kind of covered the entire drums. But that microphone is so freaking hot. If you walk past it,
oh yeah.
Like it was crazy hot.
It's not a condenser. It's not a room mic. That's not. Oh my god! And it's like, dude, you realize if you give me a background mic, I'm gonna spend my time on it talking shit about the sound guy, right? Like that's my job right now.
Oh man! Like, and then that first set, like, so we finally calm down, we eat dinner, we're ready. Like we had to like hustle and eat dinner because once we sound checked, we hit 7:05 by the end of like the sound check. So they waited to let everybody in. Yeah, they had to wait to let everybody in until we finished that. But I could see people through like the door. They're all sitting there like, oh, the band's up there, the band. Oh my god! And it's like, dude, you don't want to hear this sound. It's gonna be shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be bad. Oh, we got comments. Hey, Professor Savage Dad, welcome to the party. I'm telling my story. We just got through the sound check and we're eating some lasagna in the backstage.
Wait, so we have. Hold on, is Professor Savage Dad and Daryl Greer the same person?
I think they're the same guy. Yeah.
Okay, because on YouTube, hold on, we have
Daryl Green.
Yeah, Daryl Greer said too early, so he was, he was a little premature on that ejaculate. And then on Rumble it says, here I am, late and gay.
Yeah, I think it's
so wait,
same
try to get my midterms finished and posted so I don't have to drink about it next weekend. The world may never know. I like that. I like the ambiguity.
Yeah,
it's like the ambiguous gay duo of Daryl Greer and Professor Savage Dad. We also have, that reminds me, I need to stock up on Heinz 57. Thanks.
You're welcome.
We also have from my dad, hey, you guys, great to see y'all. Give me some white privilege. I was going to try and wait on that comment until we started talking about that, but you brought up comments, so we're like, yeah, let's do it.
All good. All good. Well, anyway, so then we had dinner and we go out to do the first set, and I think the Elvis had his like nerves all like, in a knot, because of the fact is like, we didn't really get to run anything for sound check. It was like, can we get a sound? Like we spent so much time trying to get the monitors to sound anything better than just garbled, just garbled mess. They were terrible. And they had to swap out monitors too. They had another guy show up with more speakers to swap some of them out too on stage because they were so bad. And I was like, oh my god, this. And the rest of the band, they were all apologizing to me. They were like, I'm so sorry that this is your first time playing with us, and like this is like the sound experience that you're getting. And I was like, it's okay. This isn't on you guys. Like this is just the shit that we're fucking dealing with for this place. But we go up there and we do the whole intro, like the whole thing, like where he's walking in, he's going, hey mama, he does all that stuff, and then like goes into like, I forget what it was, like, that's all right, mama, that's all right, okay, and like, but then after that, the very next song was supposed to be "Burn in Love," and like the guitarist was da na 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 na.
Yeah.
I do the whole slide, boom, boo, doo, 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 doo. And then as we're getting into the song, he's supposed to go, "Lord Almighty, I felt my temperature rise." Instead, he starts singing, "It's a good time in the city." He starts singing "Proud Mary," and we're like, well, that's not until the next set, but and we're in a totally different key. We're in like the Tina Turner key of D, and like Elvis did it in B. So I'm like, oh, I wonder how we're gonna do these modulations now, because that's gonna get really freaking high if we go all the way up there. And he's like, ha, ha. Like, I can only imagine how bad that was gonna be. And I'm just looking over at guitarist, like, okay, we're just doing this now. We're just playing Proud Mary, and then he looks back to us, and like for like the hits, da 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 da, like so he's kind of cueing us to like end the song. I don't want to do this one. It was a mistake. I fucked up. Like
Yeah.
So like,
that's later. That's
yeah. So that's what ended up happening. He's like, oh, let's get back to Burn in Love.
It's playing it off well.
Oh yeah, no. The thing is, the whole show is like, it's like comical, and like at the same time, it's like, you know, he's taking it very seriously. He's in character the whole time and whatnot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you know, like, and then we get to like the part where Proud Mary was supposed to be played. He's like, do you guys want to hear Proud Mary again? Oh yeah. Like, and like, no, we're gonna skip that one. Moving on to the next one.
We already tried that, sir.
Yeah, but like and also there was a bunch of songs that we practiced, like, you know, like, I practiced with the band at that rehearsal, like, you know, doing the full version of the song, but apparently like he skipped verses and he went right towards like the ending line, and like, you know, my brain and everybody else's brain must have worked the exact same way, because we're like, oh, that's the ending, so we start just like going right into that. So then we ended the song all together, but like we skipped like the bridge and like this third verse, all the type of shit. We just skipped all of it. It was like, well, that was like the shortest version of Wonder of You like I've ever heard. Like, but okay, sure, I'll go with that. And like there was a bunch of that happening in that first set, because I think everyone's nerves were like all tense because of the sound issue.
Yeah, not thinking correctly. So and for the most part, people that are in the audience, they're not gonna notice that because they have a couple drinks, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. Me being a fucking snob, I would be in the fucking crowd and be like, well, you missed that, you missed that, you missed that. What
You'd be the Yelp reviewer and be like, man, this band didn't even play the full version of the song that was performed in 1970.
Dude, like I am the musical Karen. Like we went when we side note real quick, when we went for Jen's birthday, and we went out to go see a cover band. They're like like hard rock, you know, like kind of pop, you know, whatever, and metal cover band. They're called Those Guys, which I think is hilarious. But their bass player is amazing. He just fucking slapping the bass, man. And their front man and their guitarist is awesome. Their other guitarist is just gnarly. Like even like being a guitarist and knowing how to, you know, play some shit, I even look at him and I'm just like, the fuck are you doing? And then but their drummer is so basic. And so it he hits the backbeat, he can, play well, but it's one of those things where it's like drum solo time, because they like all take their own little, thing, and he's just going, he's like not doing any like rolls or like triple or anything, and I'm sitting there like, they're all fucking eating this shit up. Like I'm sitting here like, do better.
Yeah, but like, again, sometimes the simplest shit is what people like get really into. Like when you do those repeated lines or three notes, like we know like there's nothing to that, but then at the same time, people are like, "Wah!" Lose their minds.
Exactly. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, so then like set break comes, like, everybody's kind of like, well, at least we can hear the house sound. The house sound is decent, but like our monitors are up and down the whole time. Like my monitor didn't work the entire show. I was hearing everything through the drum monitor, which occasionally, every so often, all of a sudden my bass go whoosh, and then it would come back, and then it would come back down like gradually. Like the guy just went like this to us, like like just like spinning fucking dials. And so
And
like
of course, like typical sound guys, that's going to be your fault. That's not his fault at all. Like he's going to say it was your guys' problem.
yeah, but that at least it was just the stage monitors. It wasn't like everything in the house was getting all boomy like that. So there was that, but like the second set, we came back out there and I think everybody had calmed down because they realized, oh, okay, like they're comfortable. They had never played with me before, so like they realized, oh, well, shit, like he knows what he's doing. We're good, and like everyone calmed down. We had a great second set. Everyone had a blast. I got to do my whole like bass solo thing for Pokes Out Annie, which was a lot of fun. Like because like then you get like everyone's just like coming up near the stage and you're just ripping on like a fuzz bass solo and you're just playing as many freaking notes as you possibly can. And like one of the coolest things was like on the drive back, they were in a separate car, but the Elvis and like his wife, which is one of the background singers, they were going off like, wow, that was just amazing. That was so cool. Blah, blah, blah. Like he came up on stage and he kind of like commanded the audience. And so they really liked the fact that I was just like, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just going to go out there and it's my moment. I'm not going to hide in the shadows. Most bass players have to hide in the shadows all the time. Not in an Elvis band. You go up front because you have so many cool licks and whatnot. So,
and you're like, I mean, yeah, it was a bass solo and I know what I'm doing, but at the same time, like I was just trying to hit all the notes to make it sound cool. Like it's the equivalent, the video game equivalent or the bass player equivalent of just smashing buttons. Like that's what I was doing at that point because everyone was eating it up.
Yeah, that's all. That's really all it is. I'm button mashing on the fretboard, and so we did that, and I could tell that finally, like the Elvis was like having a great freaking time up there because like you can see he's like whipping around, he's having a ball, and like one of the best parts that like, for him was the fact that I went up there like with no charts. I just kind of like I had it all like memorized and whatnot, so I just kind of like I'm just gonna bang it out and yeah, giggity, I got it. So like, I just did the whole show with no charts, and he was like, back at the place when we were like all drinking and stuff. That was so awesome, blah blah blah. So I just know for a fact that the other bass player is going to end up hearing about that and like feeling like meh, because apparently that dude's always used charts. That's one of the things I heard. Like he's been with them for years. I'm like, yeah, well, sorry, dude. Like.
Well, that ends now.
Yes, it's like I guess now that the bar has been raised. So sorry about that, buddy. Didn't mean to like, I'm not trying to do anything to your gig. This is your thing, but like, time to step it up.
Nah, fuck that shit. Own that shit.
I'm no gig snake, dude. I won't take somebody else's thing. I'm not a gig snake. I won't do that. I'll sub, I'll fill in, and if the band asks me, hey, we would like you to become our regular guy, then that's on the band. That's not on me.
Well, no, exactly. I'm just saying, like, if that guy's not doing his job, then obviously someone's gonna see it and then take it, and you're like, yeah, no, fuck you.
And
like,
that would be
my job.
Yeah, and that would be a business decision on the band's part. Okay. But
He
that's not for me.
Gig snaking. I mean, just
no, but gig snaking would be me being like, yeah. So I mean, like, if you can just like get me in because you see how much better I was, or some of that. Like it's not me. I don't want to like sell myself like that because like that's to me like that's not the right way to go about like getting networking and getting business and stuff like that either. It's like I want to be humble. I want to be like, yeah, I'm good at what I do. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my part. And you know what? If you want to keep throwing me work, I'm down. Like they already kind of like asked me about a couple of dates. So like looks like I might be going down to like Bethany Beach in like Delaware or something like that. It's like a real big like beach event thing down there. So like that's gonna be a pretty cool, and that's like 1,000 people or something like so like that's a much bigger performance. This is like a little rinky dink thing that they did for sure. But like one of the I think I said in my post, one of the best compliments I got from the whole thing was from one of the background singers after the show. She was like, "So which Elvis do you play with normally back home?" And I was like, I don't play with an Elvis. And like, you don't? And I was like, no, I just kind of learned the material for this show.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it was a great time. I had a lot of fun, good people, and we got through all the bullshit of like the sound tech nonsense.
Yeah.
And that honestly was the only hard part. Besides that, we had a great time. Like I rode down and back with the guitarist, and the funny thing is like the guitarist, like he's kind of like a lefty a little bit or whatever that, but like, I've known him for a long time, and me and him had like some great freaking like debates in the car about all kinds of shit. We talked about East Palestine, we talked about Ukraine, we talked about just like, you know, Trump, of course, and we talked about all the different like, you know, like, hot button subjects that people don't want to ever talk about because they're scared they're gonna like, you know, lose that connection, or like they think like, oh, they're gonna look at me differently or something like that. I don't give a fuck, and he doesn't give a fuck either. So like we're just like, yeah, whatever. We don't really see eye to eye on this stuff, but like we'll shoot this shit. It's all good.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's also like if you're talking to someone that knows at least knows the information of what's going on, it's a lot easier to have a knowledgeable and educational discussion. You might disagree, on points, based on your own, bias or based on your own, perceptions and stuff. But at least if you're talking about it coming from a knowledgeable place, not just like, oh, this is what CNN or Fox News told me.
Oh yeah, and that's why I really get along well with this guy too, because like, you know, he watches like Fox News, and then he watches like all the other like news sources as well. We disagree about a few topics, but we both agree when it comes to like the East Palestine thing. And he kind of like brought up some interesting points with Ukraine that I wasn't really thinking about before. I was like, oh, okay, so he had some cool. I'll give him a cool points like to the Ukraine incident. I was like, all right, I'll hear you out on that, but I don't fully agree.
Yeah, I mean, with that whole situation, like, I mean, it sucks that it's even a situation and what's going on with that, but at the same time, you got to look at everything. You got to look at the 1,000-foot view or whatever the fucking that.
But it gave me a little bit more faith in people that consider themselves like left leaning. Let's put it that way. He considers himself a moderate more than anything, but like, it's definitely kind of like
that's far right now. I mean, if
you're not moderate, you're far right.
If you are anything like, Biden and over, you're far right. Like to the left is that whole culture.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but, so I don't know. Either way, I mean, it was a great weekend. A lot of freaking driving, but like other than that, I was glad I did it, and I made some cool connections along the way, and I'm looking forward to probably doing some more of those later on, because I mean, like the best part about doing those tribute shows is they're not making new music. Like it's the same freaking song, so therefore you just go and you have a great freaking time making good money playing fun songs.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, and again, you make the cool connections with it,
Yeah.
So, speaking of cool connections, we have a new cool connection that we got over the weekend. That I think we should. We with all that stuff that we were saying, we got stuff in store for you. I think you were saying it on Sipping with Shawn and all that. We have our first sponsorship, guys.
Yeah,
we do.
Pretty cool.
Wait, hold on. I have a thing for it. Yay. Okay, shut up, crowd. I gotta tell them to shut the fuck up. All right,
you got your ad read ready?
I do. So this right here is
reading it now.
What'd you say?
Sorry, we're gonna start reading them now. Oh, let's do it.
We do. So real quick, this is Nature Clear. It is basically like a I'd say like a liquid IV type thing. It's for recovery. It's so basically according to this ad read, just wanted to share a quick story on how this product has helped a number of individuals across the country with health and detoxification. So my brother, one of the people that he works with, kind of turned him on to this, and he led me onto the product as he's actually used it for recovery in the morning from the negative after effects of drinking. We are the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast. We thoroughly understand.
We are alcoholics.
Yeah, exactly. This is not water, it's white whiskey. So yeah, exactly. So but we all know, having a hangover, you wake up, you got a headache, you feel dehydrated, all that stuff. Yeah, this is gonna help with that. So my little brother Patrick has tried this out himself, And he's, after, I work in the morning after using Nature Clear, felt like $1 million. It was about 20 minutes after he took it. And you could take it before you go to bed. So you wake up with that clarity, with that, so it gets rid of that dehydration, because you get dehydrated while you're sleeping. You're not drinking water. So it kind of helps with that, like a preemptive thing. Or you could drink it while you're drinking, like your first couple of drinks, throw it in there, so it kind of helps with that process. But so we personally have not, I'm going to be transparent and let you know, we just got the sponsorship. So we personally have not tried out the product yet. I will admit that, but this is something that I didn't tell you, Shawn. Actually, I did talk to the company, and they are going to send me a box out here, and then I'll divvy up the little packages and send them out to you. So we will be able to try it. But for right now, we haven't tried it, so we can't say from our personal testimonial about it. But if you do go to the website, you can read my brother's personal testimonial about it, and others about how it's helped with the hydration, lowering A1C. I do have to research a little bit about that, and detoxification and recovery from drinking alcohol. As a special offer to us here on the podcast, Nature Clear has provided this dedicated link below with a promo code, so you can receive up to 25% off your purchase, which is awesome. This is
not free.
No, not free. I was about to say free shipping, but I obviously I didn't prepare everything perfectly for the first ad read. Just fucking,
It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm just busting your balls. It's all right. You're
not allowed to tell me how I read things wrong. You're not allowed to. Just fucking with you. All right. This is something you want to buy in advance so that you have it when you need it the most, which are probably in the morning after drinking a few too many drinks. I mean, when you are hungover, if you do your order, then it's not really going to help you right when you need it. So we do have the link down in the description, right underneath the Rumble link, which we're going to be jumping over to here in a minute. But if you go down, you click on that link, it's our affiliate link. And then if you use the promo code whiskey, WHISKEY, and you'll get up to 25% off of your purchase. They have a subscription for every month. Try it out first, see if you like it. And then once we get ours in, we will be able to tell you firsthand whether or not it works.
Yeah,
and if it doesn't work,
we'll share our testimonials.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, you won't find out, because we're trying to make money. So so it works.
Chill.
Yeah, exactly. We got to grift somehow, guys. Speaking of grifting, Rumble rants, do it. Locals, do all the things. But yeah, so click on that affiliate link down in there. Use the promo code whiskey. As you see right here on the bottom layer, is little van of white. We need a little animation, but we got to figure that out on StreamYard. So, all right, with that, I think all three of the topics that we have are pretty spicy.
Yeah, I think it's time to go over to Rumble.
I'm so glad that you stretched out that story. We were able to, because I was like, all right, we're at 30 minutes. Okay, maybe we can get to one. Okay.
Oh,
cool.
no, I could talk about it for a while. Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So, and I think that's a lot of stuff too that's going to happen on the locals exclusive content and the live streams and stuff like that, like fleshing out more of those stories and and kind of that stuff. Maybe we can do a back and forth, gig stories or stupid drunk stories or whatever. I think it'd be kind of fun. But
I have ideas that we will be discussing.
Sweet. And if there's anything that you guys want to see for the exclusive content and you're willing to join us on locals, send us a message. Let us know what you'd like to see from us. I know there's a couple of times when you, Professor Savage Dad has a couple over here. I guess someone was well roasted. I think that was way before. And then he said, hell yeah. Well done, gents. Whiskey glass. And then come to the Rumble side. Yes, exactly. Go to the dark side. It's great. Super drunk stories are my specialty, so awesome. So looks like that's probably going to be a part of the exclusive content. But and if they don't get too spicy, maybe we'll throw them up. I don't know. But I think it should be fun, and we're going to get rid of this right here real quick. But yeah, I go to the link, 25% off, up to. Use promo code. It's a good idea. Just do it. And with that, we are going to jump over to Rumble. And before we do that, make sure you check out solo.to/the whiskey capitalist for all your Whiskey Capitalist links and needs, go to bit.ly/whiskey capitalist merch for our fully stacked merch store. If you need any digital design work, go to solo.to/tilde studios. I'll get that done for you, especially now the Movies America's, kind of wrapping up with the past content. I'll have much more time to get all this shit done for the network and for whatever you need. Solo.to/tilde podcast for the podcast I do with my wife. We do every other Saturday, which means this Saturday we're going to have a new episode. I don't know what we're talking about. I couldn't tell you right now. It's still up in the air. But what I will say about Till Death podcast is we are going to be having Shawn and his wife on the next one. So
that's right,
I believe. So that'll be fun. If you want to hear from our wives and they can become friends, and then we can learn, incriminating things about each other, and then we can make fun of each other for it, because that's what friends do. And then Shawn, if you want to let them know what's going on with Simple Shawn.
Yeah, solo.to/I'm Shawn Cat for all my socials and links. Links to my locals community as well, and also to all the stuff that's linked with Whiskey Capitalist and TDPN locals. So I try to encompass a little bit of everything when it comes to my own link down there. But go check it out, and then you can go and follow me and do all the other nice things like likes and follows and that stuff. Yeah, do that. Do it
no
now.
Dick pics, though. No dick pics.
Yeah, rumble rant me.
Yeah, do it. Rumble, rant, rumble, rant, rumble.
Yeah, rumble of rants at me.
Rant your rumbles. All right. And speaking of Movies America, because we did that a couple seconds ago, at Movies America on Twitter and on Instagram, and moviesamerica.com to check out all of where you can get his stuff. Also, it's going to be on the locals page. We're going to be posting that up. We also have on the Till Death Network Twitter. We have all the links and everything for all the shows. The Movies America stuff, we just put out, like I said, like 45, 50 episodes, and still have a bunch more that are going to be coming out on Thursday and getting caught up with that. He just went to the Babylon Bee live as Cocaine Bear. If you didn't see Sipping with Shawn, the fuck are you doing? Go back and watch that episode. That was hilarious. I think he scared a lot of people, which is amazing. Which is exactly what we want to do as a network. We want to scare everyone.
Freak them all out.
Yeah, exactly. Also at Till Death Network, like I said, on Twitter, go sign up to that. tdpn.locals.com. Go become a member. Just do it. Just do it. It's $3 a month, or use the promo code and check it out, and then give us money. It's a good idea. All right. With that, we are going to jump over to Rumble. So in the description, there is the Rumble link. Click on that. Jump over there and join us in the chat. We got Professor Savage Dad, like putting all the funnies in there. Join in and join in on the union, which I think is going to be the whiskey. The something they came up with something which was great, and I can't remember it now. But join in.
Yeah, do that.
yeah, do that.
Yeah.
That's a thanks for the input.
You're welcome. Like, I don't know what else you want me to really add to that. It's like you already kind of hit everything. It's like, yeah, what he said.
yeah, exactly. Ditto. All right. So God, I feel gay now saying that. All right. On that note, we're gonna jump over there. See you guys soon. And if you're not over there, all right, later, guys.